Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here today. It's Matthew Graves from Quick Start Coach with your daily Quick Starter. And today I want to talk about the problem with email. Email marketing has been the backbone of most businesses online for literally decades. I know it certainly has been the primary way that I have kept in touch with my audience over the years and has made literally millions of dollars in sales on the back of being able to contact those who you know, like, and trust you via email. Of course, the foundations of much of what is taught in online marketing is based on email. Build an email list, communicate with the list, get them to know, like, and trust you, make them offers of products for sale. Everybody is constantly saying, build a list, build a list. And I'm not diminishing from the importance of that, but frankly, especially for the last year or so, email has been suffering. I have seen my own and seen that of the coaching clients that I work with. We've seen our email response rates to be kind of all over the map. Sometimes they'll be fine, sometimes they'll be low. I've seen a lot of people's email response rates literally drop by 80% over the last year, sometimes literally from one mail to the next. And of course, the immediate thought is, well, gee, that mail must have gone in the spam folder, which may be fine, but when it keeps happening over and over and over again, then you've got a problem. So we've done a lot of testing and a lot of analysis with this, and this is kind of what we've come to. A lot of people's email lists are composed of people on Gmail, and Gmail has traditionally been the easiest email provider to stay out of the spam folder. So you didn't generally have to worry too much about being classified as spam from Gmail unless you really were spam. But over the last 18 months, they have been adjusting the algorithms. And just like when Google adjusts the search algorithms and people's search results go crazy, the same thing is happening with email response from Gmail. So we've literally sent hundreds of test messages trying different things, sending to just Gmail, sending to non-Gmail, comparing the stats, comparing the numbers, and tried a variety of different things. And here is ultimately what we've come down to. So first of all, Gmail is now deciding what mail gets into the inbox and gets top billing based on engagement. So just like social media is now all based on engagement, email is going the same way. So if you are emailing people on your list and they're regularly opening your mails and they're regularly clicking the links in your emails, then that's a signal to Gmail to say, this person likes to receive your email. They're engaged with it, they're using it, they're opening it, therefore we'll keep showing it to them. However, if you're emailing people who are not opening their emails, then what happens is the Gmail will start saying, look, this person hasn't opened an email from you in a long time. So therefore, maybe this email is unwanted. It's not choosing whether it's unwanted or not as much based on the content anymore. It's choosing it based on their measurement of how the person is reacting to your mail. So, we've had all kinds of things and ideas and things have changed over the year with whitelisting and this kind of thing. And those all can be indicators. But really, Gmail is looking at each person you're sending mail to, and they are making the determination of whether that person wants to receive your mail or not. So what's happening is, it's in the old days, it used to be that if you sent a spammy email, it would go to the spam folder for everyone. Now, it appears that what's happening is that some proportion of all of the emails you send are going to the spam folders. And that can vary from email to email, but there's always some of it going to spam. So that's something that is a factor that we have to deal with now. We are being measured by engagement. And of course, it's exactly the same in social media now. In social media on Facebook, it doesn't matter whether you've liked someone's page. Their content is only going to show in your newsfeed if Facebook thinks you want to see it. And they think you want to see it based on, well, have you liked, commented, shared posts of theirs in the past? Or is there a post on that page that you like that's getting a very high rate of engagement from other people like you right now? If so, they'll put it in your newsfeed. If not, it may not ever show up there. So only a small percentage of the posts that you make in social media are actually being shown to the people who have a connection with your page. And vice versa, only a percentage of the emails you send to particular email providers are actually ending up in the inbox of the person who had requested and subscribed to your email. So that is one factor, is that it's now engagement based and it's on an individual basis. So it means every person Google's making the decision on every relationship between sender and recipient to decide whether it's worthwhile giving this person that mail. So that's one thing. The other thing is that the amalgamation of all of this engagement data is going into your reputation. So if you're a large proportion of the people that you are emailing on your list are people who Gmail is filtering your mail out from because they have not opened a mail in a long time and they have not engaged with your email in a long time, then what Gmail says is this person isn't doing a very good job of making sure that they're only mailing the people who want to receive the mail. Therefore, we're going to take a larger proportion of that person's mail and send it to spam. So there's this sender reputation factor that's in there as well, which is also based on overall engagement of your list as a whole. So if you're sending out emails and getting low open rates and low click rates, what that's signifying to Gmail is to say that you're a spammer. So therefore, they're going to treat you like a spammer. So we played around with a lot of different settings and a lot of different methods and sending from different IPs and all kinds of variety of technical things. We've tried to work around this with my list and with the list of clients to try to come up with the optimum mix of keeping a clean list, but at the same time not removing people from the list too prematurely. And here is what we found that works. And this has been tested over dozens of other people who have tried this same approach and found that it significantly affects their open rates. And that is, you should not be mailing anyone who has not either subscribed to your list in the last 30 days or opened an email in the last 90 days. So when someone joins your list, they got 30 days to essentially open at least one email. Now, this would be assuming you're mailing on at least a once a week interval or even more often. You've got to send them enough mails to give them a chance to open one. But if in the first 30 days they do not open any of your mail, then you need to remove them from the list. You don't keep mailing them. If someone does open one of your mails, then they have 90 days to open another mail. And if they do not, you remove them from the list. So this is just running a super clean list. So the days of getting somebody on your list and emailing them over and over and over and over again until they either unsubscribe or the email bounces are gone. That's not the way email works anymore. We need to think of maximizing the engagement with the people who are truly engaged with our list. And we have to make the call as to whether someone should be unsubscribed before they do. So we need to be making that call. So I refer to it as like the 30-day cliff and the 90-day cliff. So after somebody's been on the list for 30 days, if they haven't opened any emails, they fall off the cliff and they're removed from the list. If someone goes 90 days without having opened any emails, but have opened emails in the past, they fall off the cliff and are removed from the list. So you can straight out delete them. You can segment them out into a separate list and potentially try them later. But what you have to try to do is try to get the overall engagement up for your email address and your domain on average. So the best way to do that is don't mail people who aren't opening your mails. Now, the results from that have been pretty striking. I haven't found a single case yet that when someone had very low open rates, that they did this kind of a cleanup, that they did not double, triple, quadruple their open rates. So anyone who's having an open rate problem, and I've seen some people who their open rates are down in the 1% range. And if they do, and they clean up their list and they start mailing just the active people, then what happens is they see this rebound of their open rate. It may not happen right away. It might be something that happens over time. You might have to do this for a few weeks to show Google that you're now on a new track and to affect the overall averages over time. But eventually, your open rates will start to rebound. Now, if you have a really low open rate, like if your open rate is under 5%, then I wouldn't recommend necessarily removing the people immediately from the list. Just stop mailing them. Just only mail the active people for a while. And then once your open rates have rebounded with the people who have been active, try sending a mail or two to the entire list, the people that were non-active. One email or two sent to the entire list won't necessarily impact your engagement percentages and your reputation as a whole, but it might recover some of the people that you had on the list who were not opening mails because maybe it was going to their spam folder. Once you just email the active group for a while and you solve your spam folder issue, you might want to try sending 1 or 2 emails out to that list of non-active just to make sure that there's not a chunk of those people that the reason they were non-active was because it was going to spam. So if you follow this approach of running a super clean email list, then what you'll find is that your email rates, open rates, and click rates are going to rise up and then level back out at a new level. And it will significantly improve your deliverability. Now, the other advantage, of course, is if you're with an autoresponder where you're paying for the number of names on your list, if you remove 50% of your list, then obviously you're going to be paying less to your email provider as well. So that's a nice little bonus. I know with my own list, I actually reduced my list by just shy of 50% when I put that filter on it. And I was already running a pretty clean list. Everybody on the list had opened an email from me in the past. But once I put that 90-day cliff on there, literally half of my list got disappeared. But the number of people clicking on every email and the number of people opening every email went up. So even though I was mailing half as many people, I was getting more clicks and more opens because I was getting better deliverability to the half of people that were still paying attention. I've seen with other people's lists, depending on how clean or dirty your list is to begin with, or what kind of list cleaning you've done in the past, I've seen other people's lists been cut by as much as 80% when they apply this filter. But they keep getting better response rates with this new smaller list than they did with the big list. So it's kind of scary to delete that many people from your list, but it's a good thing if it ultimately leads to having better deliverability to the people who really want to receive your mail. So this is kind of the new way we need to do email marketing. Now, one last little note. I never really recommend that you just delete people from your list. What I would always suggest is if you're using an email provider that allows you to do so, once you've segmented out that group of non-active people that you don't want to send mails to anymore, export those subscriptions into a CSV file or an Excel file, put it so that you can, and then delete them out of your autoresponder and save that file, which is a list of all of those subscribers. Because you may want to give those people another try with 1 or 2 emails in a month's time or so and just see how many of them are opening at that point. I never like just throwing people who you have worked hard to get to subscribe to your list away. So I'd always recommend storing them so that you've got them for potential future use. to be able to email, but you do not want to keep mailing those people with all your regular mails just like they were an active person. So apply this to your list, give it a try. Make sure that you're not emailing anyone who hasn't opened a mail in the last 90 days unless they're a new subscriber that has only been on your list for 30 days or less. I'm certain that if you try it out, you'll see a very positive thing with your email response, and you'll start getting better results from your email marketing. Now, if you want more training like this, I would suggest that you go over to dailyquickstarter.com. There it is, right below. So go over to dailyquickstarter.com where you can see these videos that I do on a daily basis. And you can also visit me over at YouTube if you go to youtube.com/websbest, WEBSBEST. And you can find all my videos there as well. So I look forward to hearing from you. If you like this content, please like, comment, share. I always appreciate that. And otherwise, I will see you back here tomorrow.